Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 133 of Classic Elite. We're a video game podcast. My name is Scott. I will be hosting tonight, and I've got Dustin and Josh with me. What's going on, guys?
Konnichiwa.
Spanish for hello.
It's hola. You know that, Josh.
If I thought about it, I would have. But I was going for comedic stuff, you know.
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
like Latin for humor. You know what I mean?
A dead language. Way to go. Dustin, konnichiwa, huh? Are you doing like some sort of Asian studies or something in school right now?
I actually picked up the Japanese version of Rosetta Stone for like half off.
Did you really?
So, I did.
Oh,
Seriously.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. How long have you had it?
A few days. I installed it and haven't touched it yet, but pretty
rad?
soon I might be
Fluent?
perfectly fluent in Japanese.
That would be awesome. Not Spanish, of course.
So what?
I said not Spanish. Oh no,
Oh, no.
I've thrown off our.
Not unless they start making Spanish video games.
So I have one request before we jump into the full breadth of the episode, and this is for Dustin and Josh.
Oh, okay.
No instant messages.
Oh, so that was just me. You're calling me out?
I'm calling someone on our podcast out
What?
who's not
Okay.
named Dustin. What happens is with this live stream setup that we're doing, so you can actually watch us record this live now, which is really exciting for us. Whenever you throw up an IM, the way that I have Skype set up currently, it starts showing like text on the screen. Josh, I see.
What does that?
I
What
see
does
you
that
reach-
do?
It only shows. No, don't get too excited. It only showed your name is Gooch and Dustin's full name.
Oh, so you can't see the message. So
You can't see the message. So lucky for me. So your ASCII penises that you're about to start typing into chat aren't going to work.
not start. I pasted them in. They're there, but you can't see them. So it doesn't. It's useless. Thanks a lot,
But
Skype.
yeah, everyone, if you're interested in watching us record live, we should be broadcasting this on Twitch on Thursday nights. I'd say tune in around maybe 8 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always shoot for a 7:30 Eastern time start, but it usually doesn't take off until about 8. So, but Dustin, man, before we jump into video games, what's new with you? Anything happened the last week that's exciting to talk about?
Not too much. Tomorrow, the missus and I are gonna head towards New Orleans for her birthday.
Oh, that's finally here, huh?
Yep.
Nice. How long are you guys going to be in New Orleans?
Just the weekend. We'll be heading back Sunday.
Cool. Now you have to do me one favor.
Okay.
I think that there's some like barcade or arcades down there. If it's not an extensive cab ride, you've got to go to like some sort of video game establishment if possible and tweet
All
some
right.
pictures.
We can do that.
I'm sure Kim will be down.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell her to. Just because we're here for your birthday, that doesn't mean you get everything that you want. Right?
That was so aggressive the way you're like, I'm going to tell her. You know what?
I would never say that, by the way.
No.
All of my, I'm full of crap, and all of my threats are empty.
So you were perfect for our military then.
And a husband. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Josh, man, what's new with you?
Same old, really. You know, just been chugging along here at work. It's wild because all the snow melted, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like a week and a half, we had 12 inches, about a foot of snow. And now there is none, and it's like 70 degrees.
Yeah, man, it's been gorgeous here lately, too.
Yeah, I mean, if I golfed, which nobody in their right mind should do, I would be out there playing golf.
That's the first thing I have on news this week is the Rory McIlroy PGA Tour game coming out.
Okay, now I'm excited about that.
He's replaced Tiger Woods. So, before we jump into that, because it would have been a perfect segue, but I'm going to derail that perfect segue real quick.
Oh, okay.
Two things. It's March Madness right now. So I've had a couple of beers, and I want you guys to be aware that if I start to lose my voice, like I did a couple weeks ago, I'm actually prepared with some water here, so we should be good to go. My Irish won a close game against Northeastern, so I'm certainly excited about that. And
they're ACC champions.
They're ACC champions.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy, man?
That's crazy.
The school has never won a tournament in basketball before.
Huh. So they're the very first.
Yes, and they're 108 or 106 year history.
Well done. Hey, do they actually have names on the back of their jerseys in basketball?
Yes, in basketball they do.
Okay.
And in football, they put names on the backs of the jerseys for bowl games.
Okay.
So only part of the time?
Only like a 13th of the time.
Okay, now tell me, what is a bowl game? Because technically they all take place in a stadium, right?
Which looks like a bowl.
Which looks like a bowl, right? But there are no, like, what is a bowl, right?
They have to smoke a bowl of angel dust and then play a video game. Or
Okay,
play a
now
football game.
I like football now.
So,
Had no idea this was going on.
you being a Kentucky guy, you hear angel dust and your ears just perk up.
No, it's meth, thank you very much.
Oh,
but
sorry.
yeah. Yeah.
No,
Whatever, though.
But a bowl game is, so what happens is in college football, they have a regular season of pre-scheduled games, right?
Yeah.
You play through all of those games, and if you have a good enough record, you get to basically play a bonus game. The bonus game is the bowl game. Why they call it a bowl game, I'm not 100% sure, but that's basically what it is. It's like a bonus stage of college football. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it makes sense in sports, right? Like, I don't get it in regular, like, normal human sensible logic, but in sports logic, it works completely, right?
Yes, I suppose. The bowl system in college football is really weird. It's kind of in this mentality where everybody gets a ribbon. Because there's
participation medal?
Yeah, because so many bowl games happen that like half the teams that are eligible or that play in college football, like half of them get to go to these bonus games. Like it should be a situation where only a few of these games exist, so you have to play really good to be able to get into one, and you only have to play kind of good to get into them now. So, okay, but you derailed me more because I have a big announcement for the show. Well, not that big, but if you're listening live on Twitch, which we have someone monitoring the chat, so if you happen to be catching this live, go ahead and send us some messages. But I have Heroes of the Storm beta keys to give away.
Okay, now wait, I didn't know this. How did you? So I was wanting to get in the beta for the longest time, and I finally got in, and I've yet to play like you expected.
You dick.
Yeah, I know, but how did you get keys? And like, when I wanted one, there were none to be had.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't really know. I just got an email one day from Blizzard, and they're like, invite your friends here for beta keys for Heroes of the Storm.
What?
So I emailed, the first person I thought of was Biff McSkylark. He's been a long-time listener of the show, and he's a big Smite fan. So he likes MOBAs. He's played some Dota too. So the first person I thought to give one away was definitely David. So I went and sent one over to him, and he was honest with me. He's like, I might not play this at all, but I'll take the beta key anyways. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. Dustin, could I maybe interest you in a beta key, and we give away 2 on the show? This is your chance at a MOBA.
MOBA.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, whatever.
Josh, are you going to do it?
Yeah, I mean,
This sounds like 7th graders with a joint.
Look, if he takes a hit, I'll take a hit, okay? I've already taken a hit, and I liked it okay.
Wait, you played some Heroes?
Yeah, I played like the tutorial. Yeah, and it was all right. It was leagues better than anything that has the word leagues in the title. And it was better than anything that has an acronym for a name. I'll say that.
What about 30,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
That is a better MOBA than Heroes of the Storm. But it's a long read.
True that.
Okay, book MOBA.
I don't know.
It.
Okay,
choose your own adventure MOBA book, right? So you got to like, when you get through the chapter you're on, you flip a page and it's like, do you want to go through lane 1, through lane 2, through lane 3? And it doesn't matter what you pick, the book is over after that because people kicked you from the game.
You got booted for stinking.
Yeah.
That's funny. I don't know. Should we give away 2 or 3 keys, Dustin?
Give away 2. I'll try it out.
Yes.
I've never jungled before.
Awesome. The fact
Nope.
that you even know that that's a term in MOBAs is endearing. I know that you have no idea what that means, but I love it.
Okay, now tell me, what is a jungle? Is that like, if I'm thinking fighting game, I think you're keeping someone in the air for a long time. Like juggle.
Yeah. No, jungling is a term for a character or a hero or a champion, what have you, that stays in the middle, kind of in the woods. So you're actually like in the jungle. So you know how you have 3 lanes in a normal MOBA, and there's kind of like empty space in between the MOBAs that they fill in with trees and stuff?
Yeah.
And
then like Dota, you eat the trees for like life, right? Or something retarded?
I don't know. I've never played Dota 2, but
Okay.
but there are objectives hidden inside of the trees between the lanes. And if you get these objectives, then you will help your team out, essentially. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. So it's all about everybody doing their part, right? Like you are just playing it like almost like an online shooter in a way that everyone has to take a position. It's not necessarily about who does the most damage.
Yeah, and it's probably been about a year or so since I've played League of Legends. But if I'm remembering correctly, there's like little minion guys in the woods or in the forest or the jungle that if you go kill, you'll get extra gold for yourself. You can go turn that gold in to then upgrade your skills. And in Heroes of the Storm, since they don't have gold and they don't have equipment that you upgrade with, and you just upgrade talents and you level as a team, they have these objectives. So you can get, they're called mercenaries, or they're called bruisers now, but they used to be called knights. And essentially they're these like extra strong minions that if you beat them, they'll start to fight for you.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So, and then Heroes also has these objective things that are pretty cool too. Where if you get an objective, it'll start to do damage to the other team or give you some sort of an advantage. And that usually takes place in the jungle, which is kind of the middle area. I know we didn't do the best with that explanation, because we're all kind of MOBA noobs, so we're definitely all MOBA noobs. I've been playing for a long time, and I still consider myself a beginner. So yes, if you're interested in getting one of the 2 beta keys that we have available for Heroes of the Storm, you have to do one of 2 things. You just have to email us, and you can email us a couple of different ways. First is classicelite@gmail.com. That's classicl337@gmail.com. Or you can go to our website, classicelite.com, and go to our Contact Us page. And the subject line, just put Heroes of the Storm or beta key or something like that, and we'll certainly get... it'll get our attention, and we'll give you a key that way. Or just contact us on Twitter if that's easier for you. We're just at classicelite on Twitter, classicl337. And we'll go ahead and get you into the beta with us, which would be fun. Dustin, I can't wait to get you in. And now, Josh, now that Dustin's willing to give this a try, I think that all of us should get together and maybe give it a go. Right?
Yeah, I'm down for it, for sure.
Stop putting ASCIIs in the names.
Oh, that was awesome. No, yeah. So what is the max size for a team in the Heroes of the Storm?
5.
5. Okay, so we could do 3 and like 2 listeners or 2 randoms, 2 friends, whatever. I got to say, what I did spin with it, I liked.
Okay.
I'm still missing out on the permanent progression. I know you get like a rank or something, or you get some kind of points that show you're awesome.
Yeah, I mean, essentially,
No?
well, it's not that it shows that you're awesome. It's kind of like Diablo, where if you just play a lot, you gain experience, so you just get a higher level. So it's not like a barometer of skill at all.
Yeah, okay. So I just leave the game running, set up a bot to join random games, sit in them, get booted, but still gain experience.
Yes, just as you
Okay.
get super robotic.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got odd there for a minute. But no, I'm down with it. I think it's way, in terms of me as a guy who doesn't play a lot of MOBAs or get into anything close to League of Legends or Dota 2, God forbid that. This was very approachable and it played very well. It was just streamlined and very intuitive, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and cool. Like the fact that I can be, all these characters from Blizzard games that I love, that's, I instantly have some sort of hook to it.
Mm-hmm.
Something to relate to. While if you tell me to go play some guy in Dota or League of Legends, I don't have a clue why they're cool or any indication what they do based on their name alone.
Exactly. So the fact that you have some prior knowledge of the character set is a huge help when it comes to being able to actually get into this game from not like a lore perspective, but just a familiarity perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, if you are interested in Heroes of the Storm, it's a fantastic MOBA. It's one of my favorite games I've played in quite a while. Just send us an email or send us a tweet, and you'll get right into the beta. The first 2 people that contact us will get in. And then, Josh, I also wanted to give you a shout out.
Oh, snap!
You wrote an article for our website, ClassicElite.com, about the Final Fantasy 15 demo.
Yeah. I actually got to play 15. It exists, as we know right now, in some type of form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'll tell you guys more about it here in a little bit when it comes up to my turn. But, yeah, go check that out. I was, I don't know, like I had to say something about it.
Well, I wanted to give a shout out to Biff McSkylark and Mike T from the Cartoon Retrocast. I put your article on Facebook, and they had some comments to follow, which was cool. Dave, if I remember correctly, said Biff McSkylark said that the combat was definitely something to get used to.
Yeah, it's different.
He said that he's liked what he's played so far, but definitely a combat system to get used to. And then Mike T. Now, Mike T, when he writes into us, he always has some sort of a deal or a sale. He's like a wheeler and dealer, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, would it be bad if I told you I sold my demo?
No, those were going for like $30 on eBay the day that game came out.
He says that the collector's edition is awesome. That's what you ended up picking up, right?
No, I wanted to, but they didn't have any.
And we're talking about the collector's edition for, is it called Final Fantasy Type 0 HD?
Yeah, it's a remastered version of a PSP game.
Cool.
So, and I forget, I'm not even sure what all came with it, but I think like a statue and the demo and some stuff like that, $99. I tried to get it like day it was announced, and my GameStop was sold out. Actually, both GameStops in the area were done.
That sucks.
Yeah, but just to say real quick, though, when they did announce it, the demo was rumored, and I don't think this was officially stated, but it was rumored to only come with that edition.
Oh.
So I think people were snatching that up really quickly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess let's move into news for real. I just wanted to give you a shout out because I liked the article. It was really nice to read, and I appreciate you writing some stuff for the site. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So let's go a little out of order here. Dustin has been editing the notes, and Dustin, you put something in the notes that could be a bomb in the gaming world.
Breaking news: Kojima may be leaving Konami.
When did you hear this?
I just looked. I saw it was trending when I was putting the Twitch link in the Twitter feed, and I noticed it was trending. Silent Hills was trending, so I clicked on it, and it's on bloodydisgusting.com. They're saying that let's see here, the studio head Hideo Kojima is no longer listed as a Konami executive, and a Kojima game branding that fans have come to expect from his studio's games has been stricken from the promotional art of MGS5.
Wow.
Neither Konami or Kojima have offered any concrete details, But an anonymous source confirmed this to GameSpot, which mentions a fallout between Kojima Productions and Konami after the publisher ordered restructuring and personnel changes earlier this month. Their source claims that after we finish MGS5, Mr. Kojima and upper management will leave Konami.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Which leaves Konami with literally nothing left.
I was just going to say, like...
No, they have Lords of Shadow 3, don't you know?
But that was a Kojima thing, right?
Oh, yeah, he was in on that, wasn't he?
I think so. I think they,
Yeah.
well, I think they put his name on there to make it people a little more interested.
Yeah, he was assistant associate director of font types. So, very important.
No, that's crazy. Hearing, especially with Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear 5 on the horizon like it is.
Yeah, but I'm assuming, like the article says, and that was the first thing I thought of is it's so close to being finished. I doubt it will have any influence on it.
It's just like a situation where you don't want that kind of bad PR, is I guess what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but they were talking about Silent Hills, which is probably not going to happen because that was the thing between Kojima and Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, so PT now. Just what was the name of it? Like playable trailer or something like that, or
teaser? Playable
teaser.
Yeah. So that would be this weird little thing.
It would be like the Super Mario Brothers movie. There's like this like cliffhanger. That you're kind of waiting for, and it just never comes to fruition.
Oh man!
But see, no one wanted that cliffhanger to come to fruition. I want to know what PT would be. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, because PT, I could not play it. The first time I turned around and I saw like this shadowy figure of someone there, I dropped it. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm good.
I was watching Dustin play it, and I saw a dead baby in the sink. And was like, nope, this is not for me. So that's crazy, man.
I don't know. That's man. Konami. I got no idea what they got left.
Arcade games, rhythm-based arcade games in Japan.
Maybe they like. I know video game companies can like they do weird things in Japan. Maybe they're like selling insurance or have like pachinko parlors or something.
Yeah.
That's funny. So I guess moving on. Speaking of major changes, do you guys even know who Rory McIlroy is? Like I say that name. Does that even mean anything to you?
Yeah,
that's the dude from Polygon, right?
He used to work for Joystick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I feel embarrassed because I don't know what you're talking about.
What? This is just some video game journalist.
Yeah, Rory. I know Matt Rory from Giant Bomb. I know who that is, but I don't know a Rory something or other. Well, Rory McIlroy is the #1 golfer in the world.
Oh, that dude. Yeah. Okay, never mind. He doesn't work for Polygon. He doesn't need to. No. He plays golf for a living.
That's right. And he is taking the place of Tiger Woods for PGA's branding when it comes to their video game. So what we used to know of as Tiger Woods PGA Tour, and everyone would just call it Tiger 05 or Tiger 06 or whatever, is now going to be called Rory. I don't know. Do you guys think that it was smart for them to bring in another golfer as like a brand name? Or do you think that they should have just left it as like PGA Tour, kind of like what Madden does, and just has a new golfer on the cover each year?
Is this guy hot like Tiger was, or is he just kind of...
He's very attractive. No. No, I mean, no, he's like, a drop in the bucket compared to what Tiger's popularity was. Like, Tiger was like Michael Jordan status. Like, everybody in the world knew who Tiger Woods was. I don't think that's the case with Rory McIlroy. I do. I'm a golfer, so I follow that stuff. He's a really likable guy. As far as like athlete celebrities go, seems like a sweet dude.
Do you think they did it just so they would get some buzz?
I think that they did it because they didn't feel like Yes, I do think that they did it for buzz, because I don't think that they believe that the PGA brand is strong enough to carry a game on its own.
Yeah,
I think the EA felt that they had to attach a name to it.
I get that, but what about like the Masters? I remember when they put Tiger Woods on that game, right? The first one that featured the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they call that the Masters? Like without Tiger?
Featuring Tiger Woods. No, it was called. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I've got the. I thought I had Tiger Woods in the Masters edition. I guess I don't.
Masters of the Universe.
I don't know what I did with it.
Oh, that'd be great. You ride a tiger throughout the golf course?
Well, I keep all of my games just right up here above me, and I don't know what I did with. Oh, here it is.
I guess it's Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12, the Masters.
Yeah, that's what it is. And it's got a little tiny, if you're watching the stream, little tiny picture of Tiger right here.
Yeah, like
He used to be the cover.
I would have assumed they could have or would have went that route of featuring the Masters or some other really big well-known tournament or some other name. Mm-hmm. Not saying anything against this guy we thought worked for Polygon, because obviously everyone knows he's a golfer, but
no, not everyone does. That was my whole point.
Yeah, no, that's the joke. I mean, I just don't get it. But I think getting away from Tiger is a good thing, but associating themselves with another like specific golfer is a bummer, because does this mean this guy signed a contract and we'll get, you know, his games for years to come, where he's the headliner?
You know, I guess I'm okay with him getting his own games if they're still fun. The thing that made the Tiger Woods games really popular wasn't the fact that it was Tiger Woods. It was the fact that they were really fun, and people that didn't even play golf really enjoyed the Tiger Woods games.
Those were good. Back like mid 2000s.
Yeah,
you know?
04 and 05 are my two favorite Tiger Woods games.
Yeah, those are where it's at.
Really good. I don't know. Dustin, did you ever spend much time playing Tiger Woods?
Never played it ever in my life.
Never?
Ever. But every time you guys say Tiger, I think of Sagat from Street Fighter.
I thought you were going to say Winnie the Pooh for a second. I don't know why. I guess just because you have a 2-year-old. So, which he's got a birthday coming up, doesn't he?
November.
Oh, November. Okay.
Yeah.
Must be my other set of friends I'm thinking of. So, crazy. Well, I guess moving on, let's save the big news for the end, because I think we'll get to it pretty quickly. I've got a question for you guys. I asked you about Rory McIlroy. I've got another question, and it is, have you seen the trailer for the movie called Pixel?
Yes, Pixels.
Pixels, yes.
Yeah. I just looked it up myself.
Did you? Oh, so you haven't seen the trailer, Dustin?
No, I did. Yeah.
Oh, you
I
did?
just watched it. Yeah.
Okay, Josh.
Yes.
I want to get your opinion on the Pixels trailer.
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know. The
Then you're done. If you don't know, you're done.
I have no idea what to think about it. I wasn't impressed.
What do you think?
I'm the same way. I saw it, and I thought I almost got like a little fanboy rage going on, just because, like, if someone is going to handle something as sacrosanct as Pac-Man and Donkey Kong, I don't think it should be Adam Sandler and Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
I agree. So it looks fucking horrible, and the way that I guess I viewed it was, the premise of the movie is that aliens found a time capsule that we sent up in the 80s. Part of what we had in the time capsule was video game stuff. Video game stuff was meant to be a sign of peace. The aliens took it the wrong way. They seem to make all their technology revolve around these video games, and then they come to the Earth and punch us in the face for putting a threat out there in terms of video games. Honestly, that premise, as ridiculous as it sounds, kind of cool. I could get behind that. And then I see Kevin James and Adam Sandler, and it got ruined for me. And it's weird because the trailer actually starts off pretty great. So if you broke it up into two halves and you watch the first half of the trailer where Adam Sandler and Kevin James are not in it, it looks like it could be a decent, fun movie.
Yeah.
And if you watch the second half of the trailer, it looks like utter garbage that is just a Hollywood cash-in. It feels like they saw Wreck-It Ralph, and they're like, we can make a ton of money, and we'll just throw these 2 stars that everyone's tired of in it, and we'll be in good shape. I don't know. I went from really excited to really disappointed.
You just had to see Adam Sandler's face one time.
And you know what? I don't even dislike Adam Sandler that much, but it's just his comedy is just, it's done. It's 90s. It's old. We've heard it before. It just doesn't fit right now.
Although Peter Dinklage's get up was kind of funny.
But even that seems like a stretch. That feels like just even more of a cash in on Game of Thrones.
If they were
like, hey, we got the imp from Game of Thrones. Look at us.
There has to be a Game of Thrones reference in there. You know it.
Yeah. And if they would have been smart, he would have said something about the Wizard from the Moon in the trailer.
Oh, man, that would have been awesome. Okay, that would have changed my opinion on the movie completely. You know, if he was like, Pac-Man came from the moon, I'd be like, yes. You know, like I would have been all about it.
Josh, I thought you stopped playing Destiny.
Of course I did. Nobody cool plays Destiny. Jeez. No, I can't stop. I can't.
Well, that's your own fault, I suppose. I don't know. I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts. It seems like we're all in agreement that it's not an ideal movie, and it makes video games look even dumber than what people already think that they are. You know what I mean?
No. Totes.
So, and joining us is a 16-year-old girl who only says half the words. Totes. Dustin, so Chrono Trigger is 20 years old.
Yep, I saw.
This was last week. I think this came out.
Yeah. What is his name? Happy Console Gamer.
Johnny Millennium.
Yeah. Yeah, Chrono Trigger. Almost old enough to drink.
Yep. His video about Chrono Trigger being 20 years old was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I just like someone with that much enthusiasm.
Yeah, you can tell he really enjoys video games and loves talking about them.
Mm-hmm. And he also comes across as somebody that would, even if he disagreed with your opinion on like a good or a bad game, he seems like someone that would listen to it and not tell you that you were wrong for liking something.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
He's also older, so that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, I think he's like 40 or 41, but he looks like he's 16.
Yeah, he looks like he's like 18.
Yeah. It's crazy. Seems like a cool guy. I don't
But he's
know.
Canadian, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Love Canadians. So, okay.
All that free health care.
Those lucky bastards. Free healthcare sounds awesome. A large chunk of my monthly income goes to frickin' healthcare. Just in case I get sick. Like, I don't even use it. I hate it.
Well, if you did get sick, it probably wouldn't be covered. So
that's what really stinks. It's like you pay a lot in premiums. You're screwed because you have a high deductible. Don't get sick. That's what you need to learn. So, well, the big news this week has to be revolved around Nintendo.
They're going under. No more hardware.
Microsoft bought them. Yeah.
That's not true.
None of that's true.
They're not
Sony
going
bought
under?
them.
Yeah, because Sony could definitely do that. No, guys, what's crazy is Nintendo partnered up with DNA. That's D-E-N-A, but pronounced DNA, in China. They're like the biggest app store in China. So if you're here in the States or probably Canada, iOS, like the Apple App Store, and the Google Play App Store are the two big things here. And I guess China has DNA. Or it's Japan. Now that I'm looking at the notes, like, DNA is China, right? Did you guys follow up on that story much? Like, I'm not.
I knew it was DNA. Didn't know if it was.
Maybe it's Japanese based, and I just had a typo, which would be a lot of letters to have a typo of. But anyways, Nintendo partnered with them to make mobile games, which is nuts. And based on what I heard, it doesn't sound like they are going to be doing ports or just ports of old games. So it's not like you're going to see DNA putting out Mario Brothers 2 or Mario Brothers 3 on your iPhone. It sounds like they're going to be developing new games.
I think it's Japan.
Japan, okay. I don't know why I had China in there. I must have been listening to a podcast that said China. So, but DNA is a big deal for Nintendo to partner up with them. So I don't know, Josh, what do you think about Nintendo finally getting into some mobile stuff? And it's going to be fall of this year.
I think it's about time. I'm more curious about what they're going to do, especially given the fact that the Pokemon game came out recently. The what is that? The Pokemon Shuffle.
Yeah.
And I was not impressed with that at all. Like, as a game, it's competent, but it was just a really poor implementation of microtransactions.
Okay.
Like, I didn't like the entire system for energy management and how it was kind of a bummer, like, all around. But on top of that, though, you go back and you look at what they've recently announced is that they're doing a puzzles and or is it puzzles plural, whatever, Puzzle and Dragons game with Mario in it, and that's coming to retail. So I'm confused. I don't know what to think. So they're going to sell me Puzzle and Dragons for $40 and give me Pokemon for free.
Yeah.
But then again, though, they're not doing it all themselves. So they're partnering with someone else who has experience. We'll see what happens. I just don't want to be playing, some classic Mario, like let's say Mario 1, for example, and have to pay $1 to get higher on the flagpole.
That would be terrible.
That would be awful.
That's not going to be how it is. It seems like they're genuinely going to make new games, but they're going to use Nintendo IP. So you are going to have Mario games out there. You're going to have probably Zelda. You're going to most likely have a Metroid.
Finally, that Mario Infinite Runner that we've always wanted.
Okay, now that might be okay.
Okay, there's Old Man Dustin coming out.
I could do a Mario Endless Runner if it was like, I don't know, like if it was random levels that were Mario style and you were jumping. Let's say, how about this? You know how the Mario 3 had the world that it would progressively like move along and you had to keep going, right?
Yes.
Like, what if that was their style of Endless Runner? It wasn't necessarily like you had to keep running, but the stage was going to eventually catch up with you and it was random.
Okay.
And then, hey, Josh,
Yeah.
only $3.49, no more ads, and you get a coin doubler.
Sold.
Actually, Josh, I think
It only
that
lasts for a
would...
week.
Oh,
Just a pack. I think that would be okay if there was a way to get the controls down. Like, I think that would be okay then. But there's not. Like, touchscreen controls on platformers are just atrocious.
it just has to be like a tap. Like, that's all you need. Like, Crossy Road.
I was going to say Crossy Road.
Yeah, best controls or Hero. What? Not Heroes of the Storm. What am I thinking of? Hearthstone. Perfect. Just drag your finger.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. In general, I'm optimistic because this is going to appease Nintendo shareholders. It's going to give us more Nintendo properties and more Nintendo stuff that we can play. Nintendo's really good at software when it comes to making an enjoyable software experience. So I'm pretty excited about the opportunity to maybe buy some Nintendo stuff for my phone. That's not going to be just ports. Because if you want a port of a game, just get an emulator, you know? You don't necessarily need to go that route. So, along with that news, Nintendo also announced some new hardware. It's called the Nintendo NX as of right now. I'm sure that'll be changed. And it's in development. So, Dustin, do you think this is going to be a successor to the 3DS, the Wii U, or will it be a successor to both at one time?
It's probably they just released the new 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably like early R&D for whatever the next Wii U is.
Sure. Yeah,
That's
I think you're probably
that's what
right.
I'm thinking.
I think you're probably right.
Because that's been out, what, 2-3 years at this point?
I want to say maybe it's on its third year. I was watching video series from the Kind of Funny Games guys, and they heard some speculation that Nintendo's going to pull a Twilight Princess with the new Zelda game.
Oh, yeah, have like the split gen.
Keep pushing it back until, you can get it on each of them. Which would actually be cool from a collecting standpoint, because the Wii U version, it's going to go up in value. Just like
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Zelda games going up in value, I was listening to the Bombcast, and some guy wrote in about Ocarina of Time for the 3DS going for like $100 some places right now, used.
Yeah.
Which I was like, what the hell? Do you guys remember me a month or two ago being really surprised that it was selling for like $50 and $60 still?
Yeah.
It's just gone up and up in value. Because
That's
they
weird.
don't. I think realistically, you can get it for about $50 or $60 right now. They're not all going for $100, but it's just nuts to see like a Zelda game get to a rare status. Like, it's not weird to see it hold its value, but they had to sell a lot of those.
Yeah.
I don't know,
But I mean, anything with Mario in it takes forever for the price to go down.
that's a good point. It's because those are good games, which leads me back to the mobile optimism that I have. That if Nintendo's helping out with some of these games, then maybe they'll be really good. I don't know, Josh, when it comes to new Nintendo hardware, since it's been relatively recent since the Wii U came out, if it was a Wii U successor, do they have any chance of getting you to buy one?
I'm just saying I bought one of these. It's got a little nipple on the side right here.
You did buy a 3DS.
Yeah. New 3DS. Excuse me. Gosh. No, yeah. It just depends. Like, what I want from them is something that pulls in third-party support,
Oh, that's a good point.
Because the PS4, the Xbox One, they're the current gen, as we'll say, of consoles. And the Wii U is now, quote, last-gen technology. Now, it's PowerPC-based. It's capable of doing quite a bit, as we've seen already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Zelda game that's, hasn't been given an official title looks amazing. That being said, wouldn't it be great if you had that game, but you could also play the newest stuff? Like, just anything. Even if it's Call of Duty or the new Madden, people they shouldn't have to buy two consoles. Or at least you would hope they wouldn't have to buy a console to play the newest Tiger McIlroy game.
Well,
and Mario, like, why can't they have them both on the same platform? So my goal is, my hope is, I should say, that they put this out as something that's a true competitor horsepower-wise with the current gen consoles, but also put their Nintendo spin on it and give us, like, a touchpad controller or something.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you completely, and I think that's the reason that PC gaming has really taken off recently. It's because a lot of these games that are exclusive to one console, like I'll give you Ori and the Blind Forest as an example. So that's an Xbox One exclusive, right? But it's also on PC. You go to other games like maybe Towerfall, which is on like Android and PS4. I don't think Towerfall's on Xbox One, but just for the sake of the argument, let's just pretend that it's not. It is available on PC, so it gives the convenience that I think you're talking about, where you can have almost all of the games that you want from different parties, whether it's a first-party publisher, like a Microsoft, or if it is from a third party, you can generally get those on PC as well. And PC's really kind of taken off. And going with what you're saying, I think that would be awesome if you could incorporate Nintendo into that mix and have everything that you want, Nintendo games and third-party games, all in a Nintendo platform. I think that would be sweet.
Completely, yeah. The thing is also, like, if they're crazy enough, if I were Nintendo, I would throw all my money into this VR craze and launch a system with VR in the box.
That would be awesome. Even if it was like $600 or $700.
Go balls out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want Mode 7. I want Star Fox SNES in VR.
Gotcha.
That's all I'm saying. F-Zero in VR.
I'd buy it. I think it was last week I was talking about having a whole room just dedicated to VR headsets in my house. So, and then lastly, Nintendo's also going to be launching a new ecosystem. So this ecosystem is going to work on all of the consoles. And that includes the current gen stuff like the 3DSs and the Wii U's, but also this Nintendo NX, whatever that's going to eventually be. So fingers crossed, guys, and we might be able to start getting cross-buy stuff really frequently from them, and also maybe a digital locker so that if you lose your system or your games, you'll have somewhere that will allow you to re-download the games once you log back into the system. So fingers crossed. So, all right, well, I think that kind of covers news. It was a pretty slow news week. We managed to stretch it out to like a half hour, 45-minute conversation. So let's talk about what we've been playing. Dustin, you have one thing on your list. So before we let you go to sleep and get bored to tears hearing Josh and I talk, I want to hear you talk about The Last of Us a bit. You put out, by the way, last weekend, one of the prettiest screenshots I've ever seen.
Yeah, but that got a lot of traction.
Yeah, it did.
That was weird. Like I think of a joke and I'm like, man, this is the funniest thing in the world. And I tweet it, nothing. I have like a screenshot, I put it up there, and everybody in the world loves it. So
Yeah. Well,
it speaks to my complete incapability of reading social media and what's gonna be popular or not. But yeah, I've been playing The Last of Us Remastered. I am trying to get the Platinum Trophy,
okay.
and I beat it on Survivor, New Game Survivor.
Is that, what level is that? Give me the equivalent.
Let's see. It goes easy, normal, hard, Survivor, and then for the remastered version, it has Grounded.
Oh.
But there aren't any trophies tied to Grounded, so I just went with Survivor.
Win.
And yeah, I beat that last night.
Oh, you did nice.
Yeah.
And?
It's actually surprisingly manageable. The way that The Last of Us saves, it saves so often that the stakes are never very high, even if you do die.
Okay.
And it restarts pretty quickly. So even if you are really taking your time and trying to be as stealthy as possible, the most you're going to lose is like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I had a horrible thing happen to me, I'll talk about in a bit, where I lost 7.5 hours of gameplay.
Oh my gosh.
So, we'll get to that in a bit.
I would just pull the hard drive out of my system and punch it.
I about did. I almost angrily wrote the developers.
Now, had you beaten that game before? I couldn't remember.
Yes. Let's see. I did all of the like you get trophies for if you have supplements that you take to improve the character.
Yeah.
Ellie has a joke book that she reads. You have to hear all the jokes, which are awesome, by the way. They're all horrible puns, and I love puns, but I'm not gonna torture you guys with them.
Oh, come on, give us one if you can think of one.
Let me see. No matter how far you push an envelope, it's still stationary.
Okay, I kind of like that.
Let's see what else. There's optional conversations throughout the game that you have to get, and I did all that in normal, and then I went through in like normal game plus. So it was new game plus, but it was on normal difficulty.
Wait, so you on your third playthrough of this?
I'm currently in the middle of my fourth because I'm trying to beat it on new game Survivor Plus.
I'm blown away by how much you're willing to go back to a video game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just they're games that I love.
Yeah.
Like I love The Last of Us. I love the Resident Evil remake. And I was also like I was going back and forth between The Last of Us and Revelations 2. And I kind of put Revelations 2 aside because I was waiting for all the episodes to release. And also they're kind of similar games, but their controls are very different. So I was like getting the two games confused, and it was getting me hurt and or killed.
See, I was asking you about being able to keep them straight a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was pretty funny because the Resident Evils I couldn't keep track of, but Resident Evil Revelations 2 and The Last of Us are so similar that the control schemes screw me over because like dash is, I think it was X on Revelations 2 and it's L1 on The Last of Us, and it's just little stuff like that that'll get you killed.
Yeah.
But the survivor difficulty is pretty cool because it has very, very few resources available for you. So all the stuff that you pick up that you can craft stuff with, like Molotov cocktails, shivs, med kits, that kind of thing, very, very little to pick up.
Okay.
And in Shadow of Mordor, where you could use like your elf vision and see enemies through walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You had something like that in The Last of Us, but with survivor mode, you no longer have that. So you just have to use your camera, line of sight. You can't see or you can't hear where the enemies are.
Does that add to a lot of like suspense and tension, like more so than what you experienced in your first playthrough?
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
Because you have no idea. Like I played the game enough that I know where the general area the enemies are going to be in.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I was getting at, was the fact that you probably knew the game well enough. Like, did it still add?
But it was still changed up enough that I wasn't positive, and I had to like go slowly and make sure.
That's awesome.
And it actually, one thing that it showed off that I'd never seen before was Ellie will call out enemies to you. Like, I would be sneaking up on this one guy, and she'd be like, "Oh, on your right," and I'd look over, and there's a dude on my right.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so she saved my bacon more than one time on that. But I have the Survivor Plus, Hard Plus trophy to get, and I have to get the multiplayer trophies, and then I'll have a platinum in the proper game.
I don't think I've ever platinumed or 100%ed a modern game.
It's fun. You should do it. I mean, it'd have to be something that you love, obviously, in order to spend that much time on it. But
yeah.
Like Dead Space. I think Dead Space was my first platinum trophy.
That's cool. Yeah, I know you've talked about Dead Space 1 a whole bunch. How much you like it. You and your scary games, man.
I love them.
You do.
And just as a side note, I picked up, Target had, actually I got two things from Target. Wolfenstein The New Order. They had it for $20 for PlayStation 4.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, so I picked it up. I hadn't played it yet. And I picked up The Crazies, which was a movie that came out a few years ago, maybe like 2008, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Starred Timothy Olyphant and Rhoda Mitchell, but it's actually it's kind of like a zombie apocalypse movie, but they're not zombies. It's not reanimated corpses, but it's kind of like that.
Interesting. So a little bit of Night of the Living Dead, sort of.
Yeah.
Interesting. Ish. So when do you think you'll crack into Wolfenstein?
Not sure. Because I'd like to start playing Revelations 2 after I finish up with The Last of Us.
It's just so funny to me. Like, we're going on like 2 months of Resident Evil being in the show notes now.
See, I want to play it.
Be in the show notes.
Yeah, it'll be on there again because I really want to play that. Like the Revelation stuff.
Yeah, the first episode has been great.
Yeah, like there's a disc-based version coming out soon, right? Like, I don't know how many episodes are in this. Are there 4, 3, 2?
I think so, yeah. 4.
4? Okay.
At least 4.
Yeah, if I can get them all on a disc for like $40, I might be down because it looks like a lot of fun. Plus, there's this, for lack of a better game to compare to, Destiny-like thing where I can watch numbers pop off zombies' heads, and like,
right. Yeah.
And see my character improving. Like, that sounds awesome. The what are they calling it? Raids or what?
Raid mode, I think.
Yeah, raid mode looks rad.
Very cool. So, well, Dustin, so I'm still not actually used to recording every week like it is. So the fact that I see one bullet point under your name seems really weird.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't, because I have one game under my name too. So,
oh yeah.
If it makes any sense. So, is that been it? Pretty much, you picked up Wolfenstein. You've been playing The Last of Us.
Yep.
Cool.
Check out Target Clearance. They got a bunch of stuff. They're trying to clear out a bunch of Vita games.
I saw a tweet from
Yeah.
Kevin from the Paranerds. The Target that he was at in Toronto is like liquidating and closing.
Wow.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, well, I mean, good for him, like from a deals perspective, but a bit of a bummer to see a big retailer go down.
Yeah.
So, well, Josh, man, what have you been playing?
Oh man, what haven't I been playing that isn't from Japan? So, speaking of the Target stuff, I did notice that Shipwreck on Twitter. Do you guys ever follow anybody from the CAG area? Cheap ass gamer.
Nah.
Well, I saw Shipwreck over there post a bunch of stuff about Vita, which was kind of rad. Specifically for Target sales or clearances on games. So, might head that way soon. Anyway, not Vita related. Let's go in the complete, gosh, what the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Opposite direction. We'll just say that. I've been playing a lot of my new 3DS. You saw it here.
Yes.
I have this case that looks like a purse, right? So my girlfriend has the standard case, and I got the one that looks like a purse.
Seems a little backwards.
I know. She did it on purpose.
Just call it a Merce.
I was, and it wasn't working. Nobody was buying it. I shouldn't put chapstick in it. That's the problem.
That's the giveaway.
But no, seriously. So last week I mentioned I was going to buy Dragon Quest X, and I did.
Yeah. Oh, nice, you found it.
Yeah, we went to Lexington. It's not that easy to find right now. Wild thing is, Dragon Quest X goes for less than copies of Dragon Quest 7 or, excuse me, not 7. What is it? 6 and 5 or 4 and 6, whatever. So I got it for like $9. Great deal. It's a pretty good game.
Nice.
Like, for being an original DS game, it actually plays pretty well. It's a really neat JRPG that is light on story, but just awesome to run around, kill monsters, and, explore all that fun JRPG stuff. Big world, random dungeons and stuff. It's fun.
Are we talking about Dragon Quest 9?
Oh, 9. Excuse me. Let's put an I. Wait.
Before the X?
Before the X. Actually, I put an I in the show notes in the wrong spot. Yeah. There we go. I wish I was talking. I can't do it. Gosh. So, I can't
How
do
can you
show
not
notes.
type into the Google Doc? Oh, there
I keep trying to type and it doesn't do anything. There we go. So, 9, excuse me. 10 is the MMO that I would love to play, but I've been playing 9. My bad. And it's pretty good. It's actually really fun. And in terms of JRPGs I've played lately, that it's mostly been Persona in terms of turn-based combat, and it's good. Like I like it quite a bit, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, it's rad. But getting on to other stuff that's more recent, I did pick up, because we talked about me playing the 15 demo for Final Fantasy, I picked up Final Fantasy Type 0 HD.
I gotta say, every time I see it written, it makes me just want to, or it reminds me of the band Typo Negative.
Oh,
Type 0.
yeah, it's a weird name, and apparently there's some sort of thing at the end of the game that leads people to believe there's a Type 1 coming out.
Oh.
Yeah, which just makes it sound like a
Spoiler.
disease. Yeah. But it's okay. It's weird. It's like at times it looks absolutely gorgeous, and other times it looks like garbage. It's this PSP remaster, which is odd because that's like 2 generations ago and a handheld on top of that. So it's sort of this odd mix of like sometimes fantastic looking character models, other times just horrendous textures. But all in all, it's actually pretty good. The main negative I can say about the game is that the camera is awful.
Oh,
Like
really?
it is. To borrow a word from the Giant Bombcast guys, I think Jason said it was nauseating, and it is. It's the motion blur and the speed of which that camera moves is crazy. Like it's unsettling. Which probably would have been fine on a PSP when you were hitting the one button to position the camera around your character and it moved really quickly and there was some motion blur. But when they give you this analog control over it with a second stick, it's unsettling. It's really weird.
I feel like hearing it described that way, it's like on-demand car sickness.
Yeah. Which is a bummer because the game itself is pretty fun. Like the areas are really small, which is like the thing. Like you walk into a building, and then before you see a loading screen, it's not a whole lot of explorable space, which is okay. Like I know it came from the PSP, so it doesn't upset me. Other folks may have a problem with that, but whatever. I don't care. It's like this action-y combat where you have 3 characters. It's very Kingdom Hearts-like. Everybody's doing their own thing. You're playing one character, casting spells, fighting bad guys, and I have no idea what's happening. Not a clue. Like, it is like a bunch of people are like, Game of Thrones is more understandable to me. Leaps and bounds. All the politics and everything, because this starts up and they don't stop for a second. It's just you're right in the middle of a battle with no context other than there's magic.
So it just explains everything then. Yeah,
right there. But it's okay. Like I don't think it's worth $60, but it's pretty fun. I mean, if you want something that's different, hit some bad guys in the face and stuff. But what I really bought it for, let's just be honest here, was Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have bought it from Mike for $30.
And I would have had I known Mike was selling it. I should have known. Like, it should have hit me. He texts about all these other deals, but when he's selling stuff, he doesn't text us because he knows we're all cheap, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, he knows he'll have to give us the friend price.
Yeah. $25. But it's okay. Like, I wrote a thing on the website about it, classicleague.com. It's pretty good. Like, it's not pretty good. It's really good.
Stop, man. Your article wasn't that great.
Okay.
I'm kidding. It actually was really, really fun to read. It was just funny the way that
word
came out. Yeah, just your wording made it sound like you're like, yeah, my article was the shit, man.
It was awesome. I had like a thesaurus. Oh my god. But no, like the game itself, not the article, which I did revise this morning a little bit, found typos. But just saying, we're pros here. But the demo is a little rough around the edges. It's got some frame rate problems. It's obviously not finished. But from what I played, it's rad. It's such a departure from anything I played in Final Fantasy games recently. It's just the complete opposite of 13 in terms of being linear. It is so open and just go anywhere you want. Nice. In the article, yeah. In the article, I compared it to Dragon Age Inquisition because it is, I imagine the full game will be full of loading screens. But it will probably, this is my assumption, don't take it for word here, it's not legit. But I imagine it will be these massive zones separated by loading screens, right? And just tons of stuff to do and to collect and all these warp points. And, you're running around exploring. And then occasionally you run into a monster and combat happens like that. Like immediately. Cool. Yeah. And what it does is it sort of like, it draws like this square or rectangle around your characters.
Okay.
And then you're fighting the monsters there. Now, I haven't tried to run away, but I assume leaving that area is escaping. But you're in this square rectangle, and you're fighting the monsters, and it's very... It's very sensitive in terms of like the timing of when you block, when you parry, when you dodge. And then certain monsters, I imagine, are susceptible to specific attacks. I haven't played that much of the demo, but there's a lot of options in terms of what you do and when you do it. Like, do you want to do a Dragoon jump? Do you want to do this like dash strike towards an enemy? Do you want to cast a spell? Stuff like that. Like, it's all Final Fantasy, but it's happening in real time with this almost Devil May Cry-like system in terms of dodging and blocking at the right time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like it's really, really cool. It's just running at 25 frames.
Dustin, have you played any modern Final Fantasies?
The last one I played was actually 12, so it's been a while. Yeah,
I'd still consider that modern, though.
Yeah.
Anything like 9 and 10 on kind of feels like a more current one. And I don't know, there's kind of a gray area between like 7, 8, and 9. Like everything before 7 is like very clearly, 16 and 8-bit, and then there's that leap to 3D after 7 it kind of gives into a little bit of a gray area in terms of trying to define like if it's modern or not. But I feel like 12's relatively recent, right? Last 5 years, maybe.
Maybe
it was
last
on
10.
PlayStation 2.
Oh, was it? Oh, wow. Okay, maybe not then. Wow.
Yeah.
But it's a lot like that in a way because, you know, Dustin, you played 12, and I'm not sure if you liked it. I thought it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got that sort of combat, you know, like where you're playing one character, and I don't know that you can switch to the others, at least not in the demo. I haven't done that yet. But they're all doing their own thing, like all in real time. So it's really cool. And I don't know, like I like the fact that it's very responsive. You know, like that the monster's winding up for an attack and I dodge out of the way. Or I block and then this thing comes up and it's like parry now, and then I do a ton of damage. Like when you time it just right, you know?
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty rad. And it's just, I don't know, it's like it's all seamless, which is what makes it really fun.
Nice.
But,
so overall, are you pretty optimistic then about 15?
I am. I'm very optimistic in terms of the gameplay. That's me. I'm a guy who likes to play Destiny over and over. I'm the type of guy that wants to play Dragon Age Inquisition, which I actually popped in to compare it, you know, and that's sort of where I drew that from. You know, I want these games that have lots of stuff to do, a big open world, things to collect. I like that. And this seems to be going in that direction, albeit with a much better combat system. Now, I haven't beaten the demo, quote, beaten it. You know, I haven't gone through the entire series and fought Behemoth, but from the hour or two that I've jumped into, it's given me a good idea of what this game is, and it's awesome. I mean, it really is Final Fantasy with all of these elements from modern games, and has this something about it that really evokes this feeling of 7, where it's like it's very fantasy but also modern. Cool. And it comes together in a nice way that doesn't feel forced.
Interesting.
Yeah. That being said, I feel like I am just
rambling
praising this to death. Yeah, and rambling.
Blah blah blah.
But it's good. Like, it's good.
If we had commercial sponsors, when you complained about your rambling is when we would take our first commercial break.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it's like it's automatic. It happens at the same spot of the show every week.
Yeah, it's that 45-minute mark, you know, 45 minutes, 43 seconds. I say I'm rambling because I do. I tend to go on and on. And I don't know, I feel like I'm praising this game to death just because it's what I want. I don't know what these purists want. I don't know what these people that are out of their minds and they want turn-based battles that take 5 minutes and take a minute to load every time. No, if I see a monster, I want to smack it in the face immediately. I want rewards immediately, and I want to go on. Yeah.
They want to complain. That's what they want.
That's exactly it.
Like, I am the internet.
Yeah.
I shall complain. So you've also been playing some Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
What platform?
New 3DS.
Okay.
Right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I should have put Monster Hunter 4. So I took a break from it, played some other games, Fantasy Life and whatnot. But I jumped back in this morning, and actually yesterday, but continued this morning, and that game is awesome. I think I finally hit that point where it's sinking its teeth into me for real.
Nice.
After about 4 hours, it sort of hit me when I went on to fight my second big monster. It was this giant bug, right? And it said, you know, fight the bug, kill the bug, that's your quest. Subquest, which gives you bonus rewards. At the same time, if you can do this, break its horn, right? So then my objective was not only to kill it, but I got bonus rewards for breaking its face. We'll just say.
Do you have to break its face while it's still alive, or can you, like, mess with the corpse after it's dead?
Well, to get the horn, you need to break it while it's alive.
Okay.
So you're targeting the front of the monster. When it dies, then you can carve it. So that's when the mission's over, when you kill this big monster, it says mission ending in 60 seconds. So you have a minute to go and do whatever you want to do, and then it's over. So in that minute, you're going to run over and carve the monster. Now, this bug wasn't very big, right? So I could carve it like in one spot over and over and over, and I get all the parts, the bug parts, the whatever, the horn, you name it. The really big monsters, like the ones that are just ginormous that they show in the commercials, you need to move around and find specific spots. Like, go to the tail, go to the head, go to the body. Those you really need to think about where you want to go and try to get on it. But for the bug, that's not necessary so much. But the cool thing was, and this is just what clicked with me, I went to go eat food, right? So the way it works is it's all about preparing for the fight. So there is this chef in town, and it's a cat, of course, because the game is Japanese. So there is this cat that you go talk to, and he gives you food. And when you talk to him, you get your options, and it is a matter of picking 2 items to mix together.
Okay.
You mix these items together, and then you get to choose how you want it prepared. And this sounds way more complicated than what it is, but it's really just a series of like tabs. So you pick 2 items, and then there's like 4 or 5 tabs, and it's like, do you want this fried? Do you want it, cooked this way or that way? And I don't pay attention to what it says. I just kind of go through, and one of the ways it was cooked, and although different ways and different food combinations give you different buffs prior to the mission, said better chance of breaking the enemy's horn.
Oh.
So I definitely picked that one, and then my cat got some kind of bonus. And I go out there, and I'm just going to town on this monster. I break the horn. I return to town. And it's like, awesome, you got the horn. Here's these other rewards, and now you can make this awesome item. And that's sort of what's getting me is like, sure, the game is deep in terms of like, hit the monsters in these certain areas and fight these certain monsters and collect these parts. But it's just every once in a while when something pops up, and it's like, you have a better chance of that. And that does something to me. That'd be
Dude,
like
I felt that way with Rogue Legacy. Like when it dawned on me, like, okay, I need more gold. Oh my god, I can equip all this stuff that gives me gold bonuses.
Exactly, yeah. And then at the same time, you could equip stuff, in Monster Hunter that, or eat foods that give you certain buffs that help you focus on a certain objective. That's what this game is about. Like, it's about the preparation. Like in Rogue Legacy, perfect, comparison. In that game, you're playing it, and you get your option of your character you're going to play as this turn, right? This series.
Yeah.
When you're going through the castle, and you see that you have this particular series of traits, and you're like, amazing. So you grab those traits because you know they're effective against a particular boss or part of the castle.
Mm-hmm.
So you grab those, and then you go talk to the blacksmith or the enchantress, whatever, and you grab the runes and the items you need that just make you that much better. It's sort of like, because in Rogue Legacy, you're going to go after a certain goal, whether it be a monster or collecting gold, defeating monsters, going after certain bosses. Like, that's what Monster Hunter is. Like, that is the core of the game. It's all about, like, picking one goal and going after it. So the way I've been playing is a lot of just random stuff, like do this mission, do that mission, run over here, do that. No. Pick one thing you want to do. And I think you have to hit a certain point in the game, but pick one thing you want to do, focus on it, and then it all clicks. Like in my brain. Like it hit me, and then now I'm going and redoing the same mission over and over, which unlike Destiny, I feel like I'm making progress. I feel like I'm getting better as a player.
You're the only one that feels like he's making progress in Destiny, by the way.
I don't think I'm actually making progress because I'm so far behind everyone else. But in Monster Hunter, like, there's just something about it. It felt so awesome when I kill this giant bug. It falls down. I get the horn, and I go back, and it's like, make this awesome weapon, and then go back out and fight a bigger bug or a giant dinosaur or who knows what. So anyway, long story short is I want to play that game every night.
Nice.
I need to play this game like 2 or 3 hours every day, and I need you guys to buy the game.
I'm not. No.
No, it's actually really good. Like, I think this is the perfect type of game because it's a mission structure. It's like 30 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever. Like, that's it. Like, you go, you pick a goal, you run out, and you do it.
Okay. All right. I'll make you a deal.
Okay.
If you can show that you can play a free game with me on a fairly regular basis, I will go and invest money to play a game with you.
Okay.
Deal?
Deal. I'm so gonna lose this bet. Deal.
It's not a bet. It's a challenge. If you show that you're willing to play Heroes with me, then I'll be more likely to play Monster Hunter. Because
Okay.
I know that you're not real high on Heroes. You said it's all right, and what you said about Monster Hunter sounds pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. The thing about it is though, that you got to get used to just the obtrusiveness in the controls.
If I'm playing with you, I'll be able to get like some tips and tricks. And
I don't know about that.
I mean,
Pretty bad.
A little bit, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like the fact that it's a lot of timing based and like really strategic, and like once you start a particular action, you have the animation that you kind of have to follow through with it. Like,
Yeah,
I think I'd be pretty good at that, honestly, and I think I would enjoy that combat.
you probably would be. It's a lot of fun. I would definitely check it out. It's much better in my opinion than 3 was on the Wii U.
Okay.
I feel like they do a much better job of getting you into that world at a better pace. But that being said, I'm done with it. I want to play it some more. I'll try to play Heroes so we can play together. I would love. There's 3-man parties, so me, you, Dustin, that'd be the way to go.
Sweet.
But next week, you're talking about games where you commit to actions and animations. Next week,
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne comes out. I got to know, are you excited, Dustin, for Bloodborne?
Not really. I haven't seen anything about it.
Neither am I.
Kind of intentionally. Like
Yeah.
I hear it. It's like it's from the Dark Souls, the like proper Dark Souls guy, right? Miyazaki.
Yeah. Like this is his next game. Like that's they're throwing his name in it all over.
Well, I really enjoyed Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls after I kind of understood how they're supposed to be played. So, yeah, I'll play it eventually. That's my reason.
Is it going to have any multiplayer in it, or is it like a Souls game specifically where it's just a single player kind of thing?
I don't know, honestly.
Any idea?
I don't know if it's going to have that sort of spirits or help comes from another realm or adversaries come fight you at random.
Okay.
I don't know.
But probably.
Yeah, probably. The sad thing is, like, if I do get it, I would probably trade Final Fantasy Type 0. Because, like, I bought it for the demo and it's okay, but it depends. Like, we're going to wait and see. Like, I'm going to check out the quick looks and the Twitch streams. And if this game looks rad, that might be the way I go. And then I'm done for a while. Because I don't need anything else.
Sure.
Can't afford it. But that's sort of what's like, I'm in the mood for that kind of thing. Like, maybe that's why Monster Hunter clicked right now, because I want something plotting and deliberate and that I can think about. Something I could talk about with other people where I'm like, oh man, I was playing Bloodborne and I got a shield, and they're like, we didn't know shields were in the game. And I'm like, they're not. I'm trolling you in real life. That kind of thing.
Good deal. So, well, has that been it pretty much for what you've been playing?
Yeah, it's been Japanese all the time right now. Like everything.
I have not been playing. I don't think it's a Japanese game. I think it's a Western game. I have been addicted, like hardcore, to Ori and the Blind Forest. So, just go back to last week a little bit, Josh. You were asking me a bunch of questions about the gameplay and how it works, and I didn't have a lot of answers for you. I do now.
Well, we've talked a little bit on, on the G chat or Gmail chat, whatever, about it.
So,
and
what I got,
I want to hear more.
What I got wrong last week was the save stuff. Specifically, you asked me how the save works, and you can save really at any time if you have the resources to do so. And you were then asking me, well, how do you know how do you get the resources? And I didn't really have a good answer. I'm like, you just sort of get them. There are little crystals that show up kind of on the platforms, and if you break those crystals, it'll fill up kind of like a mana meter. And if you use your mana, it's called like an energy cell. If you use that, then you can create a save point. and the reloads are really fast. So it's a brutally difficult 2D platformer. And once you get past a really tough spot, you run into situations where you're not sure if you should save or not. Because if you run through a tough spot, because it saves it as a full save state, you don't get to refill your life or anything like that. So there's situations where you could feel like, man, I only have one health pellet left. Do I really want to save right now? Because every time you start from there on out, you'll only have one health pellet until you come across other abilities or other enemies or areas that are going to replenish your health. So just to give you an idea there that you can hit a button really at any time and save your game if you have the resources to do so. So now, because of this save feature, Dustin, here's the game that I lost 7.5 hours of gameplay on. And I gotta say, man, you were my inspiration for starting over again. So I'm like, if Dustin can, because the whole time I'm playing Ori, I'm ear to ear grinning, just like, this is awesome. It is Super Meat Boy meets Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And there's just tons of exploration. The platforming's fun. There's puzzles based around platforming, which I absolutely love. You increase your abilities, so you get better and better. It's scratching all the right itches. It's all beautiful artwork. The music is fantastic. Well, there's this like really, really tough part that I ran into with spikes on the wall and this kind of anti-gravity section. So you have to kind of fall and navigate, and your controls are suddenly backwards. So I end up on this wall, and I end up on these spikes, and I end up inside of the wall a little bit, and it feels like I'm on a platform. Because I've noticed that you can stand kind of on the edge of some spikes and not die. You know how if like a spike is horizontal in a game and you land on it vertically, sometimes you can like stand on it and be fine. So I'm like halfway through this tough progression, and I'm on the side of the spike inside of the wall. So I save. So I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna let me save right here. One of the things that this game does is it doesn't allow you to save if you're too close to danger. So you have to like push through. So I'm like halfway through this difficult section. I hit save, and then I realize I can't get out of the wall.
Oh no!
No matter what I do, I can't get out of the wall.
Oh, that's the worst.
And you can't go back multiple saves. So the second you hit save, all of your previous save spots are erased.
Oh man!
So I'm freaking out. I've made it like really far in this game, and all of a sudden, like, I'm screwed. And so here's what I did, guys. I Alt F out of the game, like leave it running, and go into my Steam profile, and turn off cloud syncing for that game.
Okay.
Download it on my old PC to bring up and then shut the game off. So I shut the game off then, so it wouldn't sync. I bring up the game on my old PC, and my old save was there. And I'm like, hallelujah, I am so smart. I saved this. So I open it up, and then I close the game, and it syncs. I'm like, all right, I'm in good shape. Now I can download it on my good PC. So I re-download the game on my PC. Like I just to be on the safe side, I deleted Ori off of my computer and downloaded it to a new hard drive. And I don't know how, but Ori found my old save and re-sunk everything.
Oh.
Or resynced everything. I don't know how you say that. So I was so close to salvaging my game, and it synced across all of my platforms.
Oh,
with
man.
the new save. So even when I'd go to the old computer, I would bring it up and the old save would be there. All I needed to do was, while I had the old save up, all I needed to do was copy that save over to a new save file, and I would have been fine. And I didn't think to do that, and it boned me.
Oh, man.
So I'm frustrated, I'm pissed, and I feel like it's a combination of bad game design and me being dumb. I shouldn't have saved on the side of a spike.
Yeah.
You should just know better than that, period. However, you shouldn't be able to save on the side of a spike, I would also argue. So, we'll just call it a wash. So, I start the game over, and I got to tell you guys, it's fantastic the second time through.
All
and,
right.
and it was kind of a relief because it starts to get so difficult, at least for me, that it's not that it doesn't become fun, but it just becomes tiresome. Like, to get through a section, it's like exhausting. And when I restarted the game, I was just flying through stuff. It was awesome. And even though they stripped all of my powers away and I had to build from scratch, like, the controls, they're a little floaty, but all in all, they're really good. So it's just a fun video game to play. So the good from starting over was that it was a good break, and I needed a break from a bit of the challenge. But the bad is definitely the fact that I started getting really tired of the enemies. That's a big drawback for the game for me. Is the level design's phenomenal, but the enemy variation is not that great, and some of the enemies can get a little tedious to get past.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've found a trope of old video games that I don't like, that I see in current games. And I blame The Legend of Zelda. So going back to The Legend of Zelda, the first one, you know those Hershey Kisses that split into small Hershey Kisses?
Mm-hmm.
So Rogue Legacy had a whole boss built on that. Pissed me off. I hated that boss. Well, this game has a few enemies that are the same way, where you hit them and then they split into others and whatnot, and I don't like that. But it's a small thing to look past. So what I ended up doing also is I was so focused on getting back to where I was that I didn't do as much exploration as I did in my first run through. So it took me 7.5 hours to get to the point that I bricked the game at the first time through, and it took me 4 hours to get back to it the second time. And I now have less resources, which is a big bummer. So, now, I don't know. Dustin, have you done that before? Have you ever had like an auto save or a manual save that just kind of bricked a game for you? I never have.
I think I may have had like maybe a first-person shooter that would like auto-save like as a grenade falls at your feet.
Yeah, that kind of crap.
Yeah. Nothing off the top of my head, but I think I have had that happen before. Something like where you have to just reload the level, but unfortunately you didn't have that option.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't do that. So, but I mean, all in all, the game was so good I didn't mind going back and replaying it again. And despite this game-breaking feature, and in the Xbox version, you can do this on multiple occasions. Like this, basically, you can open up, from what I understand, going through some forums, you can open up a wall or a door, and if you save on one side of the door or not, and die without saving again, you can appear on the wrong side of the door where your save is, and you can't progress anymore.
Oh no, that's no good.
So they'll have to patch that. I don't think that's it must be a game design thing. I haven't run into it, and I'm nervous I'll run into it again. But I've been copying my save files over, so I should be in good shape. So
I just checked in. It's not on PS4, unfortunately.
Oh, Ori's? No, it's not. It's Xbox One and PC. Just get it on PC, man. But just put it in your Steam wish list. When it goes on sale, pick it up for $10. I gotta say this. It is despite its flaws, it's my strong front runner for Game of the Year right now.
It's not horror themed, so I'm not interested in it to begin with.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a little scary.
It's scary that you'll lose your save.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I don't know. Like, Ori and the Blind Forest is a fantastic game. It's got its flaws, but my God, it's fun. So, well, guys, we're about an hour and a half into the show. So, you want to cover our emails and then call it an episode?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dustin, do you want to read David's or Nate's email?
Either one.
Okay, you read David's, and then Josh, do you have the Gmail open?
Yeah, I do. I just gotta find it here. Nate's email.
Yeah, yeah. So let's read David's first, and then I'll say something about Kevin here in a little bit, because we got 3 emails this week. We got one from Kevin at the Paranerds, one from our good friend David, and it's David, not Dave.
That's right.
And our good friend Nate as well. He's got a follow up, I believe, to Crowfall that we talked about last week. So, that's why don't you take it away with David's email.
David here. I've been busy with school and work. I work at Sonic Drive-In as a crew leader. Just wanted to say I still listen to your podcast every week and love them. Thank you.
Sweet.
I also hate amiibos. Keep it strong,
Right
man.
Yeah.
And I love the new remakes of the Zelda games on the 3DS, and hearing how great the new 3DS is makes me want to get one. I am more of a handheld gamer, love the PS Vita, but going to school and work full-time is limiting my game time. I might just try this, but I might try the Steam box. Did we talk about that
A little bit
last week? Okay.
We mentioned
I have a horrible memory when it comes to what we talked about in the last podcast. I just want to give you guys a shout out here from here in Arkansas. Keep up the good work, and can you convince Mike T to bring back the Cartoon Retrocast? I miss their shows, both cartoon and after show. As you can tell, I'm a Nintendo fanboy and also love Cinemassacre and the Friday the 13th stuff he does. Everything that those guys do are great. A fan, David. And I cannot play games on the computer screen. I have to have a TV screen. Oh, and the DBZ Hyperbolic Time Chamber reference was awesome. I grew up watching Dragon Ball and the Z series.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have to agree, David. I would like to have the Cartoon Retrocast come back in some capacity, even if they only do after shows periodically. Kind of the way that we were doing shows there, where we'd get one out every 5 or 6 weeks. I miss that stuff. Hearing Jeremy and Mike go back and forth is awesome. It's good stuff. And Dustin, did you get to finish the Friday the 13th stuff from Cinemassacre last week? Like he did Jason X, and he did like Jason Goes to Manhattan and all that.
You know, before that review, I'd never actually realized that Jason Takes Manhattan. He's only in Manhattan for like a tenth of the movie.
Yeah, I'd never seen it, so I just assumed that he was like in Manhattan going crazy, and then watching James's review, you find out that it's just all on the boat.
Yeah, man, that was a weird movie.
So David, thanks a lot for writing in, man.
Yeah, totes.
Appreciate
it.
Yeah.
And
Totes.
If it wouldn't screw up our formatting, I'd name the episode just Totes.
Totes. How do you spell that?
Totes.
Yeah.
With an E?
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Doesn't Sonic have tots? Tote? Okay, I didn't. There was nothing there. I just forget it.
No, I got nothing either.
And I do have one thing to say before before we move on about Steam boxes and playing games on computer screens. I used to not be able to play games on computer screens very well. I was also a TV first kind of guy, and slowly have converted over to being a monitor. I like sitting a little bit closer. It's pretty cool. And David, if you end up getting a Steam box of some sort, let us know the flavor that you get and tell us how it is, because I'm really, really interested. One of the cool things is... okay, listen, here's an idea. So, did you guys hear about Windows 10 being offered
free?
To be a free upgrade, right?
Free, yeah.
Even if
even
you
for pirates. Yeah,
Yeah.
for pirates. So, this is what he should do if he gets a Steam box.
Pirate Windows. That's a horrible...
Pirate Windows 7. No, Pirate Windows 7.
Because they don't sell that no more. Don't worry about it.
And then get the free upgrade. They want... You're not going to be in any trouble.
Did they tell you to pirate Windows 7?
They didn't tell you to pirate it. They told you if you did pirate it, you're in the clear.
Oh, okay. So they told you to pirate Windows 7.
No, they didn't say that, but they kind of did.
Like that's a shaking his head like, don't do it.
But if you can get Windows 10 running for free legitimately on your Steam box, you should do that, because you're not going to be limited to the Linux-based games. Hey, he's in school right now. He's working a job. Like,
I'm pretty sure I have some Windows 7 keys around here somewhere.
okay, so we'll
Windows
hook you
8
up.
keys too.
Well, no one wants those.
8.1.
8.1.
I got that 8.1, son.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh snap!
I wish I had a trench coat full of DVDs.
Yeah, it's just
What you want? What you want?
what you want. I'm not wearing anything underneath, so take your pick.
So no, but okay. So Dustin disagrees with me and my workaround to getting Windows on the Steam box, but I thought it would be kind of a slick idea. I'm hoping that now I'm in the Windows Technical Preview. I'm hoping that they let me keep that operating system like once it actually goes live. Because I don't have Windows 7 and I don't have Windows 8.1 on that machine. But I have Windows 10 Technical Preview on it. So hopefully they'll just like upgrade me and I'll be able to keep a Windows operating system on that PC. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go back to Linux or something like that. And I don't really want to have to do that.
Again, I have Windows 7 and 8 keys.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't want to take them if we're... Okay, yes, I call one of them. Never mind. So
Eventually, 7 isn't going to be supported for that much longer, right?
No. So you need to upgrade eventually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I might as well load it. So, all right. So moving... Whoa, I just saw Nate's email. It's
I found it.
It's a long one, so...
What? Oh, am I looking at the wrong one?
You must be.
Oh. It's behind the scenes look at how things go. I look at the wrong stuff.
How did you not see the first email in the inbox?
The first email in the inbox I have is from Squarespace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
so click on it.
a form submission. In
Josh,
his defense,
you
probably
built a-
looking
Oh,
for-
what?
You built the website and you don't even know how it fucking works?
No. I didn't realize. I was like, oh man, there we go. Okay. See, I built it, but I didn't test it thoroughly. Like I had my son's daughters test it by sending us hate mail. So that's how I know to recognize
Your
stuff.
son's sisters.
Is that the one
Yeah,
that
Sun
says
Sister,
you
sorry.
guys suck?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
she
that.
sent that from her iPhone.
Yes, we
So
have a
that
mobile
works.
site,
I've tested
so.
on iPhone.
So let's get into Nate's email. Josh,
Sweet. Yeah. All right. So he's got the subject here is the Crowfall primer.
let's start reading it.
I will. Give me. Jeez, man, I quit. He says, "Message, dear Dustin, Josh, and Scott, and Tony, if he's listening. As I mentioned in my previous message, I chipped in money for the Kickstarter project Crowfall. It's my first time trying Kickstarter out, and I was a bit taken back by the tentative release date of December 2016. But Scott told me that could happen with Kickstarter projects. I spent $34 and the MSRP will be $50. Plus, I'll be allowed in the beta version. I thought that was a fair deal. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, sure, if you're gonna buy it anyway. He says the founders of Artcraft Entertainment are Gordon Walton, executive producer of Ultima Online, The Sims Online, Star Wars Galaxies, and The Old Republic, and J. Todd Coleman, I can't say that. Creative director of Shadowbane, Wizard 101, and Pirate 101, and they want to develop an MMO that's a little different than current online games out there. So that's a mouthful. Like, it's hard to say. I'm trying to read it all right. Crowfall is based around the concept of marrying an MMO RPG with a strategy game. However, there's a bump in the road with the two types of play. Imagine the outcome of a game of Risk stretched out for a long period of time. After a while, one player or group of players would begin to dominate. As it intensifies, no other player would be able to progress much and stop having fun. What Crowfall attempts to do is solve this problem by destroying the game world after a few months. Thus, everyone has a fresh world to start again. My understanding is that you have a home world to keep all your loot, and possibly a guild world for those activities, but the campaigns will start on new worlds. I receive updates from the development team daily. Today's just so happens to suggest VR capabilities.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's the start of Ready Player One, an MMORPG in virtual reality.
Right.
Ernie Klein got it right.
So he said he copied and pasted some of that below. In quotation series, got since the beginning, we have really, really Wanted to add VR support for Crowfall. We think our vision, the immersive environments, the seasonal effects, the visceral sweaty palms, oh dear lord, what's around the next corner, survival nature of our gameplay is a perfect fit for virtual reality. Thanks to Unity 5's native support of Oculus, and we're hoping Vive or Vive, the Valve headset, at some point. We're excited to say the possibilities within our grasp, so we'll make it happen as a stretch goal. Help us find 15,000 backers, and we'll make it happen. I'm excited to start, let's go back to him again. Nate says, I'm excited to start once the beta is out. All the best, Nate. Wow, okay, that was a mouthful. So I was actually more trying to soak in what he was saying about the game.
So I had lunch with Nate last week after we recorded. So he was describing the game to me a little bit, and the way that I understand it is really going into Risk. So have you ever played Risk before?
No, but I've heard people talk about it. And
okay, so what you do is everybody starts off with, let's say, like 5 armies, and like I'm North America, Dustin you're South America, and Josh you're Europe. So we roll dice like you do in like Dungeons and Dragons to see who wins a battle, right? And if I roll dice better than you do, then I kind of take over your territory and am able to build my army. And from there, I can take over other countries and other areas. Well, if I get on a lucky streak and I keep winning all the battles of the dice roll, eventually I'm going to be so powerful that you're not going to be able to compete with me. Like, even if you'd win a dice roll, so what? Like, you win one tiny little battle. Like, I'm still dominating. Like, I have most of the pieces of the puzzle, or most of the pieces on the game board. Kind of like Monopoly. At a certain extent, like you're just so much richer than everybody that the game's kind of over. So what this game is going to do is put you in a situation sort of like Risk, except when the game is old enough, they're just going to scrap outside worlds and rebuild them, almost kind of like a roguelike. So that everybody starts over again, but you still get to keep loot and stuff. I'm imagining it's kind of like Seasons and Diablo.
Yeah.
But it's going to be an MMORPG. So I don't understand how it's all going to work because I'm not an MMO player. But basically, they're going to prevent people from getting too powerful, and it sounds like it's going to have a lot of PvP stuff, which should be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Like I've heard of it, I've seen pictures, but more and more I'm looking at here, this looks like it's pretty far along in development, so I think it's a safe bet to throw money on it.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, the stuff here, checking out Nate's link here, this is kind of rad. I might be down to throw some cash on this.
Oh, nice. Look what you've done, Nate.
Yeah, so you caused me to buy another MMO. Or throw money on an MMO. Okay, here's what I want to know. Like, I'm not seeing it here. Nate, tell me, is this thing, or Scott, tell me if he's informed you, is this a free-to-play game, a buy-to-play game?
No, he said in his email, he said, well, in the email, there's an MSRP of $50, so it's going to cost $50 to get the game.
Okay, that's right.
But I don't know if it's going to be like Guild Wars, or Guild Wars 2 in their model, or if it's going to be... are you looking at gifts again, Dustin?
Did I tell you guys the dream about when I had a dream about an MMO called the Truffle Shuffle?
No, you did?
Yeah. I had a dream that I was at an interview and it turned into like this video game trivia contest. Whether or not I got the job was based on this.
Oh, no, you did say that.
Okay, yeah, the Truffle Shuffle. So you guys kept talking about MMOs, and then you said something about Guild Wars, and because that was my answer was Guild Wars. Oh, but I was wrong, and it was the Truffle Shuffle.
It was the Truffle Shuffle.
It's always the Truffle Shuffle.
Massively multiplayer online role-playing game, the Truffle Shuffle.
But I don't know if there's going to be a subscription or not. So.
Okay. Either way, I mean, it looks really rad. Like, I need to go watching videos on it here.
I like the art style from what I can see in the notes. So I'm going to watch the Kickstarter video when we're done recording here. So definitely cool stuff. So Nate, thank you very much for writing in about Crowfall. If people are interested, you can check out the notes of the podcast, and I'll have a link for Crowfall's Kickstarter and their YouTube video, so you can check it out. And then we got... I'm not sure if I should be announcing this or not, but I'm going to. So it seems like the hiatus that the Paranerds are on is going to be kind of lengthy. So that being said, I just wanted to let Kevin know that we really, really appreciate him mentioning our show every week on his podcast and being such a cool dude towards us. It's really awesome. Really excited that he's got a little one on the way. I think that the baby should be due any week now. Any day at this point. So that's certainly really exciting. So just wanted to tell Kevin that he did a great job at paranerds.com, and if he ends up starting it up again, doesn't let us know, we'll let everyone know. And there's a chance that Kevin may do some writing for us here at Classic Elite.
That would be awesome.
So maybe we'll get some more articles and stuff. So if Kevin has spare time and he can't do all the production of maintaining a website and all of that, and he just wants to get something out there, maybe he'll do it on our platform, which would be really cool. So, Kevin, just wanted to let you know that I personally really miss the Paranerds podcast, and I'm sad that the site's going to be going on hiatus for a little bit. So, but guys, oh crap, the voice is going again. That's it for the show. That's episode 133. Now, this week for outro music, I want to draw attentions to battleofthebits.bandcamp.com. So Battle of the Bits, it's like a music compilation of chiptune. There's 53 chiptune songs in this compilation. Most of them are pretty damn good. And it's pay what you want, which is fantastic. So you can get it for free. The song that I picked, and I don't know why, Dustin, but I felt like you might appreciate this. The song I'm playing is by a guy named Raphael Goulart, and the song is called Propeller Plane. No big deal. But it sounds like Virtual Insanity from Jamiroquai.
Oh, nice.
How sweet is that?
That's awesome.
So if you're watching us on YouTube, unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be able to edit in the music, but you will be able to go and very easily download the song. We'll see how I handle YouTube show notes and whatnot. If we end up posting this on YouTube, we'll see how the production goes on the back end. Everything's been on stream, so it's on Twitch, so it's kind of out there already. But it's been a lot of fun recording this week, and hopefully people enjoy this song. Battle of the Bits. This is from the compilation Winter Chip X. So we will see you next week for episode 134, and thanks a lot for listening.